And Zoomies, I see you live, large, and in charge. We see you moving and shaking, and we see the comments. So thank you very much. Please, you are in this room as just as much as we are in this room. The next person to come up is infectiously amazing. Anytime I have an opportunity to be around her, whether it's a virtual scene or an in-person scene, I'm never not in a mood that isn't uplifting. The person that we're going to see definitely knows how to deliver. She communicates well. She's awesome. She's behind the company. Get desky. Get it? Get behind the never mind. Anyway, she is insanely amazing in her field. She knows how to deliver an awesome, valuable information that she's going to provide. And the greatest title that she has is also mom. So, ladies and gentlemen in the room, start making some noise. Zoomies, start making some movement for Jennifer.
How are y'all doing today? Yeah. So I got two special guests here, my mom and my daughter. Say hi, darling. Hi, darling. So this is my first time public speaking. The last time I did it, I was in speech class and I threw up and I fainted all in one fell swoop. Right? So I love the fact that I got to speak today on Master Networks. It's been Master Networks almost all day. We have Javi, we have Bobby, we had Ashley. And I want to really dive into that a little deeper and tell you exactly how far this can actually go with making those connections. I am uniquely qualified in this because I'm a third generation entrepreneur. And the fourth one is on that screen over there. She's working on it right now. And I want to share with you guys like how impactful this can really be. It really goes very deep. It can change your life, like legitimately. You can have the most amazing experiences all from people. So what I want to start with is a few stories. So how many of you guys remember your first client? Come on. First one? How about your 100th? Your 1,000th? 5,000? Yeah, no, nobody? Right? 5,000? Oh, we have Morris, 5,000. Not even 5,000 groups. Where did Bobby go? You don't remember them? Me either. I don't remember half of them, but I do remember some of them. You're going to learn about some of them today. So I lost half of them. Like I don't remember half of them at all. But what I do remember is the experiences that I had from some of those people, but also the experiences that I had from my family as well too, because along the way, I got to be able to be invited to birthday parties on the beach for millionaires. I got to go to extravagant places overseas. A lot of times got to have fun experiences. I've gotten to know a lot of really cool people. Got to do a lot of really cool things, all because of relationships, like deep, meaningful relationships, not just, hey, how you doing? Got your phone number, maybe call you sometime, maybe. But no, like the deep ones where they'll show up. Yeah, call you, maybe. Yeah, maybe I will. Maybe I just met you. I really did. Just call me. So I got to have really amazing experiences. My mom can tell you. Yeah, Mom, hi. There she goes. And I'm going to share those with you today, along with how it's important to build those relationships and how you can do it in a meaningful way. But before I do that, can I share with you another story? Woo. Did you guys know that I used to rodeo, trained horses? I have the saddles, the belt buckles. I have ribbon. I actually have a ribbon in the house. Mom will go get it. I do. Like I gifted. She's like, no, I'm not going to go get that thing. It's big. It's a ribbon and a photo and a belt buckle that I gifted to my dad because half the time my dad was gone because he was building power plants all over the world. But I always knew that he was there. He'd call me every night, every single night. Didn't matter if he was in Jamaica, didn't matter if he was in Mexico, call me every single night. And that's the kind of person that I was raised around. Showed up, he said, I see you, no matter where you are. He would go, and when he was in charge of building power plants, or he was in charge of Christmas parties, he'd be like, we're going to have 2 Christmas parties. We're going to have one for the parents, one for the kids. He would literally, he rented out a hotel and brought in a Santa for the kids. And I don't mean like just the guy. I mean, he had the Santa, he had the sleigh, like he had the whole presentation. And there he is right there. Hi, Dad. He can't really hear. She said, she's talking about you. You know, and that those are just some of the things. Like he'd go overseas and he'd be like, hey, where's all the safety gear for these people? Like, I'm like, oh, well, we got to have that. That's the type of relationships you build with people. You show up, you serve them where they're at, you love on them, and you build those relationships through showing up, talking to people that are way below you. Like he went to Jamaica and people were like, Mr. Greer, don't go to these places. Like, don't go to these places. They're bad for you. And he'd be like, why? He'd be like, they don't like Americans. They'll literally take your family. And then he'd be like, okay, well, where can I go? What can I do? Started talking to them like they're people. And he was in charge of the whole job there, the whole thing. Like he was the person on charge there. And he would just go and talk to each of these people, just like, hey, Kathy, how you doing? You doing all right? Family doing okay? Yeah. Like he was just the next person in line to work. And that's how you build relationships. You say hi, talk to them. You'd be like, hey, I see you. I want to know like who you are. What are you doing? How are you feeling? Like what's there? And along the way, my dad made friends with several people that have done amazing things around the world. They've built plants everywhere. They give back to people. And in a huge, huge way, like amazingly way. So I'm going to talk to you about how they did this. And it came down to 3 things. I didn't realize this until about 8 months ago. I came up with this. So I call it 3 C's. Thank you, Dr. Rob. He told me to tell you 3 C's. It is 3 C's. It's called capture, connect, and close. And they're not what you think they mean. I'm also a little bit of a side research junkie, especially if you get me talking about real estate. I did it for 16 years. Like every time NAR would send you out some of those reports, I was the person that was opening it up and reading every single page of it to figure out how I could have that edge, you know, that Bobby talks about, you know, like being the best at who you are. That means when those industry people and those level are doing those reports and those stats, read them. I cannot tell you how many times I walked into a presentation for a buyer or a seller, be like, do you know what the stats are? Like what the national average is? Do you know, like if you buy this house now in 5 to 10 years, you'll have an equitable value of like 10% more of what it is now. They're like, what do you mean by that? And I was like, the national average is 1 to 3. You know, this is what it is for this area. Riding around 2.8 right now. Really good compared to the national average, which is sitting at 1.5. Those stats are important. So I have some stats for you guys when you guys are talking about going and talking with people, connecting with them to even see if you want to be friends with these people, because you don't want to work with everybody. But the first level you got to do is you got to see if you even want to be friends with these people. So some of the stats that I pulled up are going to shock you. or did you know that to get one appointment, you have to at least cold call 209 people to get one appointment? One appointment. You want to do that? Yeah. That's why Master Experts is better, because you can just go and be like, hey, let's build on common interests here. See where our navigations are, where we can align up. If you don't line up, fine. We'll just move along. So I don't like cold calling. I hate it. I'm just going to tell you all that. I hate it. Absolutely hate it. You don't like it either? Nope. Yeah. Cold email isn't much better. You get a rate, you get a bump up from 0.05 to 3%. That's much better-ish. But that's for 1,000 emails. So not much better. You should still do it, but you got to be able to do it with people that you already know. So, and then the last one is actually your network. Do you know that a lot of people will refer you? You just talk to them. Be like, if I call Bobby, be like, Bobby, I want to talk to this person. Be like, bet. Oh, okay. I'll introduce you. Maybe after he reads your email 30 days later. But after you get like 30 replies of like, no, I'm not there. I'm gone. But they will. So, but the deal is that's much warmer than it is if you're cold calling. You have to call 209 people or you're going to get a yes. Or you can build relationships and have one, and it'll open your doors. So, and I'm going to tell you, like, this is not what's written on this paper here. I'm going way off. Dad was not in this at all. He can tell you. He read my whole speech, by the way. He can tell you Dad was not in this at all. So we're going to get into the capturing part. So when we're talking about capturing people, we want to focus on the right audience that we're capturing. And what that means is we want to know like who we're talking to. You know, Lori has alluded to this. So many people have alluded to this. You want to talk to the right people. You know, once you get clarity, you want to talk to the right people. It's really easy. Once you figure that out, talk to the right people. You already kind of know who they are. You just aren't sometimes ready to admit that you know who they are. You got to do the work, figure that out. And then the next thing is like a lot of people talk about, create value before you ask for anything. Like Ashley talks about this all the time. Be authentic. Show up. You can create value just by being somewhere, by giving your presence somewhere. You show up, be valuable. And then show up consistently and be genuine. So many people, they're going to show up. They're going to be like, hey, I'm here. But really show up and be genuinely excited, genuinely ready to be wherever you are. Be intentional with who you're talking to. Be intentional of like what you want to achieve when you're there. A lot of people are like, you're going to another event, Jen. Why? I want to make friends. The truth, 100% the truth. Annoyed my mom to no end. She's like, why are you telling me you want to make friends? She's like, Jen, you can make more friends on the internet. I'm like, yes, I can. But I can't make the right friends if I'm not in the rooms that I want to be in. To call upon when I want to get to talk to that person that I've been inspiring to talk to my whole life. But I know that maybe Rob might know this person, or Ashley, Bobby, or Lee, or Aaron, whatever you want to call him, Lee, Aaron. But I know they might. And if they're going to be there, and I know that they may know that person, I can go and I can make friends with him. It may take me a little bit of time, invest in the relationship, but it's going to pay off. Because I know that when I really am ready to talk to that person and want that, I'm going to be able to do it because I'm going to be able to say, hey, like, I want to talk to this person. Can you connect me with them? And that's the power of relationships. Like, that's the power of like capturing people, showing value, and bringing genuine connection to the people. And then when you get to connecting with people, you want to engage with them. Engage with them. You can be fun. You can be witty. Be yourself. That's the best way to do it. I mean, I'm literally going off script here, like way off script. He's even watching. He's probably reading my script right now. He really is. And he's like, you're kind of going off. He's like literally telling me you're going off. Ensure that you are valuable and insightful. If you have something to share with somebody, share it with them. Don't hold back. Like, if you're prompted to tell somebody something, do it. There's probably a reason. There's probably a reason, and you're going to show up and you're going to help them. I mean, Lee, I gave him breakdowns of 4 different landing pages just because he was like, I'm building a landing page. I was like, hey, I've got 4 of them. Here's the basic psychology of all of them. Just because he was fretting over it. I could tell on the phone. He's like, I got to build this landing page. Like, here's 4 of them. Here's the 4 main things you need to do, because I knew he needed it at that moment. So I was prompted for it. He didn't ask for it, but I did it. And build relationships without pressure of buying anything, selling anything. Just show up and literally just build a relationship with people. Like, take the essence of wanting anything from somebody, just show up. Like, really just build relationships with these people. And then lastly, close. Close. So many people are like, yes, I'm finally getting the sale. But that's not really what I define as close. It's not, you can close a relationship and it doesn't end in a sale, because you figure out who you want to work with in partnerships, figure out who you want to work with in life. You figure out who you want to work with as a client. You figure out who you want to work with going out and with your hanging out with your besties. You figure all this out, and you're going to close those different relationships in that sense of you're going to figure it out. Sometimes those relationships are going to end. Sometimes they're going to grow, and you don't know where they're going to be. Yeah, I know. My business besties up there. Hi, Wendy. She really is. Wendy is really the best. Yes. Oh, look at her face. So you're gonna close these people. And in the sense of, I started something and I know where it's gonna go. So it could be a friendship, it could be a business partnership, it could be you actually work with them in the capacity of being a client. I never know where my relationships are going to go, because I always try to just show up and be friends with people. And I always figure it out, because people are like, Jen, take money from me now. That's usually how it works. Like, people are just like, okay, like, please, I want to hire you. Because I just show up and help them. Because I love helping. My mom can tell you, like, I annoy her to death about this. So what this has done for my family, because my dad started building relationships with people when he was in the late 50s. So my dad's 81. He's going to be 82. Still builds power plants. He's actually starting to build one next year. Yes, literally, legitimately. Yeah. Yeah. And there's a running joke. My daughter will tell you, she swears that he's in the mafia. So I learned how to do this from my dad. Literally, I'm telling you, ask mom next time. There's a running joke in my family that people think that my dad is in the mafia because he knows everybody everywhere. Literally. Like, for the longest time, my daughter was convinced. And so she did not do anything to upset Paul because he knows everybody everywhere. She knows, because she asked her one time, she goes, Mom, are you sure? She was like, no, he's not. We can't confirm it. Probably not. Probably not. But what it did is it taught me to just show up in the places where the people is that I wanted to serve. Because that's what he did. When he started building his career, he would go to the bars of the people that he wanted to meet. He would, like my mom, he met my mom at my grandmother's bar. Yes. So he would go there. He would go to other lounges, other places, and talk to the people. Just make friends with them wherever they go. In Wyoming, he met a man named Jim, and that became a lifelong friendship, like spans decades. And he now invites us to all sorts of stuff. Not only that, we met other people along the way to where we get invited to Christmas parties. We're not even a part of the company. We're not even a vendor. We don't even do anything for the company, like at all. But we get invited. We get turkeys for Thanksgiving. We get ham. All because my dad showed up at a bar somewhere, probably a bar, to make friends with people with no other goal besides showing up and having a beer with somebody. You don't have to do beer. It doesn't have to be alcohol. I want to be clear about that. Coffee, it could be coffee. But the whole point is to build relationships with people, show up where they are, strike up a conversation with them, remove the fact of you want them to buy anything from you or sell anything to them, and really have an actual just conversation with these people. And it's amazing the things that you'll get to do. I mean, on the way to connect, I got to spend a week at a millionaire's birthday party. It was his 70th birthday on the beach with his whole family, his 4 kids. And then it was his nieces and his nephews and my 2 girls. Or yeah, I think Zodi was there. I don't know. Sometimes she goes, sometimes she don't. She's an adult. And we also got to stay there for a week. We were on the beach hanging out. We wouldn't have got to do that if my dad hadn't have showed up at a bar and just started talking to somebody. Didn't ask him what he did. Didn't ask him, like, what company do you own? He didn't ask him to, like, here's my card. Call me someday. He said, hey, my name's Leon. That's all he said. And just, you want a beer? The next time you go somewhere, really think about, like, how are you actually connecting with people? I know Master Networks has the bond. Love me some Master Networks. I just joined not too long ago. But really think about it. Like, you don't have to know people's occupation at the first minute you talk to them. Is it helpful if you're at a business networking event? Probably. But you can also just say, hey, my name's Jen. What are you doing today? Like, you know, be my friend. Yeah, I kind of went way off script. Wait, like, I'm so far past it. Like, Rob's like, yes. But my point is that a lot of us, we really want to do good and we really want to help people. We really want to serve them. But the best way sometimes you can serve people is just by showing up and being a friend with them. Because the rest figures itself out. It really does. And trying to force it, even if you know you're supposed to work with those people, but those people are not ready. I mean, Javi's like, I know we could work together in some way. He said that the last phone call we had about a week and a half ago. And he says, but I don't know how. And I was like, great. When you figure out how, call me. Because I'll be here. Because I also know we love coffee. And he's fixing to launch a coffee business. And I'm like, I need coffee. I love coffee. So I can chat with him about coffee all the time. And along the way, he's going to figure out how Jen can help him. He already has an idea, but I'm going to wait for him to figure it out. Because when he figures it out, he's going to be crystal clear, which means he can come to me and be like, I need you to do X, Y, and Z for me. Like, and I'll be like, great, and get it done. Give him a timeline, we'll be fine. But I'm not going to do that until he's ready. So how many times are you guys doing things before people are ready? Like, you got to really just show up. Just be friends with people. Like, be friends first. Everything figures itself out. So the next time you go to an event, and I know the Master Network people are going to be so mad, be friends first. Be friends first. Don't do it. Yeah. Because, yes, well, no, because I think you're so awake. Y'all are tiring, and I know I'm not really good at this. This is my first time. Y'all are not awake. Like, this side of the room is like really quiet. Y'all are really quiet. Yes. Look, you're locked in, but you're quiet. They are very silently judging me. Very, I can see it. What? Oh, is there any way we can see the room clear with the screening? What? Oh, I wasn't even paying attention to that. I don't even know. Where's the timer? I thought there was a timer. Bobby, did you not?
Where's the timer? Where's the timer?
The timer? How much time do I have left? 10 minutes?
When I stop, so do you and stop is appropriate.
Oh my God, we're gonna do a Q&A? You want to do a Q&A? Oh my God. Oh. You know, it's fine. It's fine. I was just. Oh, no, I'm fine. I can do a Q&A though. I mean, we haven't had one the whole time we were here.
Does anybody have any questions?
Oh, finish what I was going to say about Master Networks. Because you have to kind of take a step back a little bit from doing the actual occupation discovery. So that's why, because sometimes it's not necessary. I know that we go through that. And I feel like sometimes we have to take a step back from that occupation discovery, because sometimes people aren't super clear enough on theirs, and sometimes they just need a friend first. And along the way, they kind of discover themselves. So, but anyways, there were 2 questions. Who wants to go first? Matthew?
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah, you want to know more about Jen? So Jen and Get Desky, and also Darlene. So Darlene is also my co-founder. So we started this business 3 years ago called Get Desky, and it originally started, we were going to be a VA company for real estate agents. I really quickly shut that down. And so now what we do is we help thought leaders and community builders run their back end. So what that means is we come in and we will do the operational side of their business for them so that they can go do all the speaking, all the book writing, all the different things that they want to do besides being behind the desk, which is why my company is called Get Desky. We take the desk work away. So, yeah. It was one of the only names that I came up with that didn't already have someone had purchased GoDaddy. Also, my mom was not sold on this name. She did not like it very much at all. She hated the fact that I created the logo and it had a desk. The first one had a desk. And she's like, I don't like that at all. It's terrible, which is fine. We don't have that now. So it's okay. Yeah. One more question. Yeah. Rob? Oh, because we didn't talk about Alex at all. Did we? Oh, yes. Yes. So capture, connect, close. So capture is just you capture them. Like you capture them in some way. You capture their attention, you capture their information, some form or fashion. So connecting is just literally, it's just building a connection with them. And then closing them is you have closed the first start of the circle. You can have multiple circles with these people, but you're closing the first circle that you started. So it could be this person came in as a lead and I connected with them and then I closed them. Or it could be this person I met over here and I connected with them as being a friend and they're going to be a business partner. So it could be and people can have multiple circles. It's almost like the Olympics. You know, they have 5 rings. So we can do that. So what Dr. Rob is wanting me to talk about is the 5,000 clients that I talked to you about. So those people were actually from ads. So during a time of my life, I was a full-blown real estate agent. I also worked my way up to being an executive officer of business strategies for a real estate firm that has 300 real estate agents that span 3 states. I was in charge of training them. I was in charge of making sure that they knew all of the company policies, the company procedures. I was also the right-hand man if the real estate broker left to go on vacation. So what that means is if their real estate deal was going to shit and they didn't know how to handle it and the broker wasn't in, the next call was Jen. So that meant that I worked 24/7. I also at that time still sold 10 to 12 houses myself, did not have an assistant. The only thing I used was technology and my systems and processes. And I also trained 5,000 real estate agents how to do ads, to bring in more leads for them. So that's where I really learned for the first time the power of being able to connect with people. Like once you get them on the phone and being able to actually be like, hi, instead of being like, you need to buy a house for me, you're literally in charge of helping this person make one of the biggest investments in their life. And the biggest mistake that you can make is saying, hey, let's go buy a house tomorrow for them, because they don't want that. They want somebody who knows their stuff. They want somebody who knows when they walk in the house to be like, hey, that trellis right there is just falling down. Hey, that's just cosmetic. We can fix that. But that crack right there that's going this way and it's going both directions and then you have zigzags going down the brick, you might have some foundational work that needs to be done. They really want to know that. And that takes time. You can't just tell them that in the 10 seconds you have for lead. You have to be able to actually talk to these people. So this particular guy, Alex, he had hired us to do ads. And he literally called me up and said, your ads are shit. He literally said, do you know how many awards I have won in my area? And your ads are shit. I'm not getting anybody. Nobody's doing anything. Nobody's buying from me. And I'm like, okay. At that point, I'd been doing this for about 2 years. And I was like, that. Okay, we're going to figure this out. What I discovered was that he didn't know how to actually show up and actually show people the expertise he actually had. He just wanted to pick up the phone and be like, okay, let's go buy a house. Sign the paperwork, bye, out the door. He didn't want to follow up with them. He didn't want to send them anything about the area. He didn't want to connect them with roofers if they needed it. He didn't want to do any of that stuff. He wanted to just pick up the phone and sell a house. Sometimes he even wasn't in the area. And I'm like, well, we're going to fix that. So what I taught him is you have to actually talk to people. and actually connect with them and figure out what it is they want. You can't just put them on a MLS search and say, hey, here's your houses. Bye. Have a good day. Call me when you're ready to see one. And so this was the birth of the Capture, Connect, Close. Didn't even know it at the time. I really hated the guy. I really did. I was like, I literally picked up the phone and I was like, all right, shouldn't even be answering this. But I did. And this guy, I went into his ads manager. This is how confident I was in my ability to do this. Didn't even operate real estate in his area, but you don't need to do that to be able to vet people for leads. You can call them, just book appointments. You don't have to do any of that. And I download all of his leads. And I start calling him. I'm just like, hey, Jennifer from Alex's office. I saw that you inquired about this house. Like, maybe I can show it to you. You want to go see it on Monday? They were like, yeah, I've been seeing it all over the place. I'm like, okay. So I'm like, one. So I randomly started selecting people because he had like 300 leads at this point. I'm not going to call all 300 people. I made him 8 appointments in 45 minutes because I picked up the phone and actually said hi and talked to these people. I didn't say, oh, you have to like sign paperwork with me. Yes, you do. Yes, yes, yes. I know it's changed, but I didn't say that right out the gate. Like, hey, let's make this a business arrangement. I was like, human on the phone, like, talk to these people. So when he finally put this process in place, he did do better. He tripled his sales, actually. So what I will close with is it doesn't matter if you're generating leads offline or if you're going to a bar or if you're going to a restaurant or even if you're here, really remember to just capture, connect, and close with these people. And closing isn't what you think it is. It can be multiple things for multiple people at different times. So that's all I got. I know, I went over time.
Great job.
Thank you. What?
Come here.
Stay with me, what?
Oh, it's all right. He's got the mic, right?
You know, I got it.
Okay, Bobby, here you go. Just real quick. You said this was your first time, right? Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, give her a round of applause for our first time speaker. You did great. You did great.